How good was this game, and how good has this series been? The Los Angeles Dodgers, Game 3 of the NLCS, 5 outs away from falling 3 games behind, 3-0. They come back, 4 runs in the 8th inning. Cody Bellinger, a season to forget. That would be understating it. Another huge postseason moment, 3-run home run to tie the game, and then Mookie Betts, of course, coming through to give the Dodgers the lead and ultimately the win, and we've got ourselves a series. Braves on top of the Dodgers currently after 3 games, 2-1. David Sampson, Steve Gelbs talking about a wild one. I mean, it's just been an incredible series, an incredible game again, and I think there's 1,000 ways to start, but you have to start with Cody Bellinger, no? I mean, this guy hit 165 in the regular season, has the huge moment against the Giants, and then obviously the huge moment in Game 3.
I think it's important when you are a player like Cody Bellinger and when you're an organization like the Los Angeles Dodgers, you're not losing faith in the former MVP. You're putting him out there. Of course, it's going to be matchups, but at the end of the day, I want him up at the plate at that moment because he's had success. He knows how it feels. He knows exactly what needs to be done during that particular at-bat. And the pitch he hit, that's a high, that's almost a high fastball. Shoulder, yeah. And you have to be waiting for that. The only way that you can get that out is when you know that's where it's going to be and you're ready to swing on that swing plane. And he just got him. It's a snipe job is what we used to call it, and good for him. But remember, folks, if you're from Atlanta, it's 2-1. You still got the series lead. But if you're the Dodgers, if you don't get this game, it's over. Well,
there had only been one team in the history of the championship series who had come from 3-0 down and won the series. The manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, he knew something about that, Dave Roberts.
But that's why he didn't want to go down 3-0.
He knew that was a unique event that did happen. So the Dodgers don't have to worry about that. You say it's only one game, though, for the Braves. But, when you look at this one, and I know in baseball the common refrain is momentum's only as good as the next day's starting pitcher. But is this a bigger boon to the Dodgers or more deflating to the Atlanta Braves?
So the Braves are in the clubhouse right now. And I know exactly what's happening. The manager and the GM, and they're sitting there, and they're just going to get on the team bus. They're going to go to the hotel, and they're going to come back tomorrow. They will forget about this game quickly. Listen, there's 27 outs you have to get. They got gotten in the 8th inning. I've been a part of 8-run 8th innings. They happen. I've been on the wrong side, the right side. You forget about it very quickly. The Dodgers, on the other hand, what they're saying is, let's use this. Let's use this 4-run 8th. And let's carry it over until tomorrow. So they're going to try that. But you know what? They're going to lace them up tomorrow night, and it's going to be one heck of a game. You got Urias going in Game 4 against a very good pitcher for the Braves, whose name currently is TBD, but will be announced shortly. But the way these series go, you got to have 8 to 9 pitchers all on a particular day in order to win a game. And Luke Jackson, he was off tonight.
Hey, TBD is tough. TBD is tough. TBD can go the distance. I'm just telling you that. When you look at this series right now, and we talked about it, it's been a great series. All 3 games, 1-run games, exciting finishes. Overall, especially given the type of favorite that the Dodgers were in this series, what do you make overall of what you've seen in these first 3?
I wasn't really sure why the Dodgers were such heavy favorites. I understand they won 106 games versus 88 for the Braves. But at the end of the day, when you look at the Braves lineup and then you look at the back end of their bullpen, forget tonight, but in general, before tonight, the back end of their bullpen has been spot on. You look at, they should not be such big underdogs. Then they win the first 2 games at home, walk-offs. So everyone's thinking, wow, they take a 5-2 lead in this game. It's going to be 3-0, series over. Dodgers are getting swept. You got Barkley saying the Dodgers are getting swept. I don't exactly know what game he was watching, what series he was watching, because in baseball, 27 outs. Let me say it again. It isn't so outrageous that the Dodgers came back in the 8th inning. It's not as though we had the entire highlight cut and we had to get rid of it all and then redo it. That didn't happen.
That wasn't the first thing that we thought of was, wait a second, we have to change the entire plan here. We just roll with the punches. The Cody Bellinger, by the way, obviously he's going to get the headline, but Mookie Betts again on base 4 times and comes through in the clutch when the Dodgers needed him there with the game-winning hit.
So as an executive, what I'm more upset about is the Mookie Betts at-bat.
Why?
Because tie the game, all right, but it's a 0-0 game. We're on the road. We cannot let them go ahead when we see Jansen up in the bottom of the 8th. You don't want to give up that lead. So it was interesting the way they pitched to Betts because he's the one guy still. It sounds amazing because of their deep lineup, but when you go up and down the Dodgers lineup, you always identify pregame one guy who will not beat you, and it's not Bellinger. He tied the game. You tip your cap. You do not let Mookie Betts beat you. And Mookie Betts is the one who beat the Braves, not Cody Bellinger.
So as a former executive, I want to ask you this question because I know, and you just said it, the next day, it doesn't really matter what happened the day before. Neither team, they like to think there's momentum. If you're on the winning side, it doesn't really matter. The one big debate when it comes to front offices, analytics groups in baseball is runners in scoring position. Is it luck or is it something that is actually a skill? Before that Cody Bellinger home run, the Dodgers were 2 for 20 with runners in scoring position in this series. They had more hits with runners in scoring position from that at-bat on than they had previously in this series. Is that something that can roll over? Is that something that can just kind of let guys exhale a little bit and not maybe put too much pressure on themselves in those big spots?
So we tried to figure that out, and here's what we would say, that when you have runners in scoring position, generally you are going to hit what your average is over a long period of time. But there are periods during a season, even in a postseason, when that can change, and you can just get super hot when it matters and in clutch times. But what we did find, it doesn't carry over to the next day because different circumstance, different pitcher, different time of day. Don't forget, when this game started 8 hours ago, there were some sun issues going on, right? It was an afternoon game in LA. So just everything about today's game will not be anything like tomorrow's game, which is why when you are in the business and you're in that clubhouse, you turn the page. Whether you've won the game or lost the game, it's 2-1 Braves and you're going to game 4. That's it.
Sounds like a podcast that I personally love. Nothing Personal with David Sampson. You say you turn the page? Well, every day you turn the page on that one. It's a new podcast every single day. You love this analysis, and of course, who wouldn't love this analysis? You get it in spades daily. If you haven't checked it out already, what's your issue? What's your issue? Change that. Change that today.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.